Hi, welcome to Parent Alienation is Child Abuse Unfiltered. Thank you all for being here today, and welcome to the new subscribers. I thank you all and welcome every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, I welcome you to do so, and hit the little ding dong bell so that you don't miss a notification whenever I release a video. Today's discussion is going to be about children being held hostage. How are they held hostage, you may wonder? Well, in the world of parent alienation, these children are held against their will with the other narcissistic parent and used as a weapon to cause hurt to the ex-partner. These children don't have a say in what happens to them or what goes on, or if they're allowed to see their extended family or their mother or father, whoever it happens to be. In the world of the narcissistic parents, these children have their rights taken away from them. The narcissistic parent uses their voice and the lies to manipulate visitations, manipulate court systems. Meanwhile, these children are in the background wondering what the hell is going on. They wonder what's going on between their parents because these children have been born into a house that was hopefully full of love when they were children, little babies, loved by both parents equally. But in the relationship, most times a rushed relationship, and the child is the product of a rushed relationship, that the people haven't got to know each other very well. And soon there's cracks forms in the relationship. They don't pick up after themselves. They make too much mess in the kitchen and don't clean up. They don't help around the house, or are constantly demanding or controlling and telling you where you can go or who you can't see and how long you're on the phone for. They use lots of different ways to control people. The thing is waking up to it early. Waking up to it early is by not rushing into a relationship and getting to know each other first. But unfortunately, sometimes this isn't the case, and these children are a product of that and become victims of a hostile environment once the relationship breaks apart and arguments begin and the hostilities start. And one wants to leave and the other one doesn't take that very well. So therefore the children are weaponized as a way to cause hurt. A lot of times the narcissistic parent, be it the mother or be it the father, because it's not gender specific, as I've stated in all my videos, it's not a gender specific subject. It happens on both sides of the field. There's just as equally as many narcissistic men out there as what there is narcissistic women. In all these scenarios, one thing remains the same. That is, the children are caught up in the middle of the parents' hostilities and their parents' arguments and their parents' childish behaviour. They become victims of narcissistic parent, whether they denied the access to parents, be it the mother, be it the father, or even their extended families, their uncles, aunties, cousins. The list goes on. We've spoken many times before about the ripple effect this parent alienation has. And these children are stuck there. They're stuck there without a voice. They're stuck there without any rights. They're stuck there without anybody caring. Because that bottom line is they don't care. Narcissistic parent doesn't care. Narcissistic parent cares about themselves, and that's all that matters in their world. They don't care if they're hurting their own children. That's not in their mind at all. Quite often times these children don't just suffer verbal abuse. We've spoke before about the physical abuse. These children suffer at the hands of narcissistic parents. There's also another side that doesn't get talked about quite often, and that's the side of neglect. When a spiteful person takes a child as a way just to weaponise that child to cause hurt, to say, well, I've got the child, you can't see them anymore, it's my piece of property, that's it, I make the rules now. They do that to make themselves feel good. Now, the care factor for these children is zero. They say and they act like they care, but behind closed doors, they don't really care. They don't care about any health issues these children may have. I've known quite a few that children that are stuck in this middle of this bullshit that have health issues, that have had problems with their either dental health, hygiene health, nutritional health. There's a whole list of stuff that gets neglected along the lines. I know there was one child that used to go for visits that would quite go over there for visits, sick, constantly had colds, constantly would have croup. You may wonder how a child could get so sick so often. Well, the answer to this one was quite simple. The parent of this child used to smoke cigarettes in the car with the windows wound up with this child in the back seat. Now, you're a smoker, you probably don't worry about the cigarette smoke that floats around you. But I can tell you, as a non-smoker, just driving past someone in another car that smokes makes my head spin. Never been a smoker, never wanted to be a smoker. But I know the effects of being in a room, like a hotel room where people used to smoke inside, and how sick I used to get just being around that. I think they call it second passive smoking, where you get secondhand smoke. Imagine that for a child or a little baby. I've known quite a lot of parents that do that will drive around in a car, maybe with just one parent on a visitation, or both parents in the car smoking with the child in the back, and then go, oh, I don't know why they're sick all the time. Always sick. It doesn't help when someone tries to point that out to them, that you probably shouldn't be smoking in the car, and it is an illegal thing. But care factor 0, like I've said. No, another person used to take their child out in the freezing cold with hardly any clothes on. I wonder why that child got sick all the time. Looked pretty, looked nice, dressed up nice and handsome. Cold as ice. And the cold air. Or in rainy days, insufficient warmth on. Oh, they'd be rugged up to the max. Jumper, beanie, jackets, boots. Not the child. Not the child. And then complain that sick child's sick all the time. Always got a runny nose. I don't know why. Always coughing. Keeps me up at night time. Care factor 0. Now, who's watching out for these children? When you have a relationship breakdown and people go their own way, the right thing would be to co-parent that child together. Let that child thrive. Let that child be happy with both parents. It's not their fault the parents' relationship broke apart. But these kids are the ones that pay that price. These kids get told, you're not seeing your mother anymore. You're not seeing your father anymore. Oh no, you're not seeing your extended family anymore either. Forgot to tell you that part. Oh no, your uncles and aunties and all your nieces and nephews, cousins. Oh no, you just forget they exist anymore because I don't want anything to do with them, so therefore you can't either. It's really sad for that child. What selfish parent does that to a kid out of their own spiteful needs? Narcissistic parent, that's who. Narcissistic, spiteful, vindictive parent. They're the ones we talk about here on this channel. And these children are held hostage by these people. They're also used as a way to manipulate the ex-partner. I've known many of these situations to arise too, and I've heard quite a few stories along the same thing, where they're invited over. Oh, can you come over and give me a hand? And you can stay for dinner. The kids would love to see you. Go over there and spend the afternoon helping clean up or tidy up, because probably a house inspection's probably due, the truth be known. Children are not there. Oh no, they'll be here after school, I promise. So parent waits around, does all the cleaning, mowing, kitchen work, whatever needs to be done as a way to help, because they're trying to keep the peace. And then get told, oh no, sorry, I changed my mind. You can't see the child today. No, you should leave now. If you don't leave, I'm going to call the police. What reaction are the parents supposed to have in this situation? I've heard this happen quite a few times. I've heard of relationships where people try to be nice to their ex-partner, and the ex-partner all of a sudden thinks, oh, they want me back. Oh, they want me back. They're being nice, so they must still love me. They must still want to be with me. Not actually realising they're just trying to keep the peace for the child's sake. trying to be mature. And these kids are just stuck there watching it all. Not a voice heard. No one listens to them. And they dare not cry at night, because that'll just bring them some more grief. Because the narcissistic parent doesn't care about that. And it makes them angry, the fact that you even want to think about your other parent, or even your extended families. They don't care. Just don't upset them. Cry quiet to your pillow. Scream in there if you have to, just don't disturb me. Again, it comes back to thinking about relationships, not rushing into relationships. Definitely don't have a child with somebody you hardly know. Get to know that person. Get to know the ins and outs. Get to know their thinking about children, how they think children should be raised. What would happen if the relationship broke apart? Don't fall into false promises. Don't let them make you believe that, oh, if we split up, then, oh no, they need both parents in their life. I promise you I wouldn't do anything bad, and you'd always be welcome in my child's life. That's what they say. But when it comes to the crunch and their feelings are hurt, and you've left them and they don't accept that, the only way they can hurt back is to use that child against them. They use the child to hurt. They turn that child against the other parent, make that child believe that parent hates that child, or doesn't want to be in that child's life, that parent doesn't care about that child. And these kids are filled with mixed emotions, because in their mind, they know how they were treated by their other parent. They know the love and the care that this other parent had, and what this other narcissistic parent's saying is just not meshing up with what they feel to what they're told. So again, just take relationships slowly. Children shouldn't be held hostage. Children shouldn't be held as a way to weaponize and hurt people. And if you're doing that to your child, then you need to grow up. Take a long, hard look in the mirror about what you're doing to your child and what that child's future is going to be like if you keep going. You failed at the relationship. You were left for whatever reason you were left. It's not the child's fault. Don't make them pay your price. Get over it and move on. Love and care for your child. Think of your child's future and let that child grow and be productive in society. Let them go to school and learn and not be fearful of what's happening at home. Whether they're going to be allowed to see their parent this weekend, or whether mum or dad's going to go, oh no, you're not going because she's working or he's working, or telling the other parent, oh no, he's sick or she's sick, she can't come for visits. When they manipulate the things, manipulate the visits through their lies. And enough's enough. It's got to stop. These kids need someone to stand up for them. They need someone to voice their feelings, the confusion that's in their little heads. They don't get to say it because nobody wants to hear. I'm here for them. I'll stand up for them and I'll speak what I feel they need to hear. People need to hear about what they're doing. And I pray to God that people wake up. And I know I've had people already reach out to me and have said that to me, that they didn't realise they were actually doing what I've said. But after watching the videos, it does make them realise that some of the things they say or some of the actions they have done is affecting their child in a negative way. But you've got opportunity to change that. Life's full of choices. You can choose to cause hurt, or you can choose to spread love. I choose love. Because there's enough sadness in the world, and we don't need to inflict sadness on the vulnerable and the innocent. When the world around us at the moment's just getting more chaotic. And things are changing. So these kids grow up and be productive, strong members of society. Let them deal with issues that need to be dealt with, not trivial stuff that's happening at home because of their parents. That'll affect them and scar them for the rest of their lives. Anyway, just want to do a quick one. Thank you all again for being here. And once again, if you haven't liked and subscribed, I'd welcome you to do so. I'm not going anywhere. These kids need me. These kids need my voice out there. We need to change. We need to wake people up. Anyway, keep smiling, stay safe, and I'll catch you in my next one. See you guys. Bye.